Hi, my name is Tammy and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be sublimating a 20-ounce skinny tumbler, and we're going to keep the theme going in relation to it being Black History Month. And we are going to go ahead and print out an image that I have downloaded off of Etsy, and then we're going to go ahead and trim it up, print it out on our sublimation printer with our sublimation paper. We're going to trim it up, and then we're going to place it on a sublimation blank tumbler. And this is the tumbler. It's a 20-ounce skinny tumbler. This came in a pack of 4, and I did purchase it off of Amazon. It was a company called PYD Life. And I just did 20-ounce sublimation blanks is what I put in the search bar. And so it comes with your metal straw, and then it comes nicely packaged here, and it just has a lid, the slide lid, back and forth, so you can use a straw or not with it. But this is a sublimation blank. I don't know if you remember in one of my other videos where we sublimated a coffee mug. I was telling you that you have to have special blanks in order to sublimate on. You cannot sublimate on just a plain stainless steel tumbler, or like a black stainless steel tumbler, or anything you just picked up like from Walmart or from the store or anything. It has to be specifically, it has to state that it is for sublimation. That means this has been dipped in a special coating, so that when you print from your sublimation printer with your sublimation ink, when it reaches a certain temperature, which is usually 400 degrees, that ink will start to bake into the item that has been coated. So it will not work, sublimation will not work with just regular household items. It has to be, say, specifically for sublimation. So just keep that in mind. But without further ado, come on, let's get started. Okay, today we're going to be designing our tumbler, and I have downloaded a wrap from Etsy for a 20-ounce tumbler wrap is what I Googled when I put in the Etsy for Black History Month. And I went on ahead and downloaded that and uploaded it into Canva. So we're going to go ahead and choose that. I went on ahead prior to and did the measurements for the tumbler, and I believe it was like 8 was the height of it, and around the circumference of the tumbler was 9.5. So I, like, you know me, I always do a little extra. So I did like 8.25 by 9.6 on there. So those are the dimensions. This is the workspace with that size dimensions. And we're going to go ahead and insert this. And this SVG, I did say I purchased off of Etsy. And what we have here are a lot of African Americans who have contributed to our history, such as Madam C.J. Walker, Jackie Robinson, Martin Luther King, Langston Hughes, Rosa Parks, Barack Obama. So both are present and past historic Blacks for Black History Month. We're continuing with that theme. So what I'm doing here now is just sizing it to the right proportion that we need to wrap around the tumbler. And once I have that done, I've gone on up here and I've already named it Black History Month Leaders. And so what we'll do is just hit File and save it. And then we'll do File, Download. And we do want to save the download settings. And we have this little thing here that tells us that, yay, it's downloading. And my little downloads menu will pop up over here, and it lets me know that it has been downloaded. Okay, so now that we're finished with that, we'll go ahead and downsize out of that. And you know me, I always print my images in Word because I have to mirror them So on Word, we're gonna go ahead and hit, after we download the image, we have to go get the downloaded image, and it's in my downloads, and it's Black History Month later. So we're just gonna drag that over here to the desktop, and then we're gonna just go ahead and hit insert picture, this device, and it's on the desktop, Black History Month leaders, and that will go ahead and insert. And as always, double click on picture format, and we want to check our measurements. And so I believe I put 8.25 on that one, and so when we hit 8.25, it did change it to 9.6 on the bottom. So therefore that is saved. We're going to go ahead in and do File, Print. And the printer I'll be using is my Epson EcoTank 2800 series. I have converted that printer to a sublimation printer. It is just a regular Epson EcoTank printer, but instead of putting in the ink that comes with the printer, you order sublimation ink. I believe I ordered Hippo sublimation ink off of Amazon, and I use the A1 sublimation paper. You can also get off of Amazon to print the images on. So under print properties, you're just going to go in, and under more options, you're going to make sure that mirror image is checked on there. It is, we hit OK. I just wanted you to see that the print properties is premium presentation, matte paper, and always make sure that you have the color hit as well. We're just going to hit OK, and then we're just going to go ahead and print it. And once it prints, I'll go ahead and cut off the excess white border here, and I'll meet you over at the table. So stay tuned. Okay, so we are back printing this out. I've cut off all the white trim around here, and what we're going to do with our sublimation blank, as we normally do, we go ahead and spray a little bit of rubbing alcohol on a towel, move it out of the way so I don't get it wet, and we're just going to go ahead and wipe that down to remove any lint, dust, or any particles that may mess up the image once it sublimates on here. If there's anything left on here like lint or anything, when you remove that paper, that sublimation paper, and that lint flies off, guess what, guys? You're gonna have a little white spot right there. So now we're just gonna take the image, and what I normally do is set it down, and I let the bottom touch, and then wrap it as tight as possible, making sure there's no air in there. And then we will go ahead and begin to tape it down. And it is very important that when you sublimate something like a tumbler or a mug or anything like that, where it goes around, you want to get the air out of there, because if the air is in there, if there's an air pocket or something in there, your image is going to come out blurred. That's how it's going to appear when there is air that gets in there. So I have it there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a long piece of tape here, just cut me a really long piece, and then I'm just going to wrap this around the bottom of the cup to try to seal that in as such. And as I'm wrapping, I'm pulling it tight as we come around to remove any air that may be in there. Okay, and then what I'll do is just roll the bottom over. And so then I'll just take my hand and do as such, just trying to alleviate any air that's in there. And then here we have the top. And now the top, I don't know if you can see that, there is a little ledge that goes around. And so what I'm going to do is try to cut it down without kind of touching the tumbler, because I do not want to scratch the coating that's been placed on here. And you can do that very easily. So with the excess, I'm just going to go ahead and cut as close as possible as I can to the rim of the tumbler. Okay, and then we're going to repeat that same process we did on the bottom of the tumbler. We're going to take a very long piece of heat transfer tape, and then I try to keep it going in the same direction. And I'm just going to place that and pull it as I place it around that tumbler. Pulling that in, just kind of making sure that we got kind of an airtight fit around here. Okay, and now in the meantime, while we were doing this, I did turn on my tumbler press, and the tumbler press is heating up, so we're going to put that in there and let it sublimate, and then we're going to turn around. I don't know how this is going to work out, you guys, because you see there's a little air pocket. It's not laying flush. There is a little air pocket, so I do not know if this tumble press will press it evenly or what, but we're going to try it out. So guys, we're going to go ahead and head over to the tumbler press and we'll go from there. Stay tuned. Okay guys, so we're over here at my tumbler press and I have that heating up and it's just about ready. So I'm going to place the tumbler in, and what I normally do is the seam that's down the middle, I usually place that face up, so that gives me a reference point of when the beeper goes off, the timer goes off. So I'll turn it totally the opposite way so that we can get all of the tumbler, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and press this for about 35 seconds. And then when it beeps, we'll go ahead and turn it again, okay? Stay tuned. Okay guys, so the tumbler has beeped, and what I'm doing with my heat glove on, because this is extremely hot, is I'm just rotating this all the way around so that we can make sure that it's evenly pressed and it gets heat on both sides. And then we'll just let that sit for a couple more seconds, and then we'll take it over to the back to the table and we'll do our reveal. Stay tuned. Okay, so we have taken it out of the tumbler press, and a good indication that it's gone through is when you can see the image that you sublimated through the paper, the A-sub paper, because before when we put it on, it was all white. Now you can actually see, I don't know if you guys can see some of the images through there. That's a good indication that it did well. But you guys know me, and you know I'm not gonna wait. It is still very hot, hence you still see I have my heat glove on. And so what we're gonna do is take this paper off of here, because I'm very impatient and I like to see. Okay, so we got the bottom off here. And it's kind of cooling off pretty much. We can just get this off of here. Let's just pull it up. We do have some ghosting down here at the bottom. You see that? It's kind of blurred a little bit. That's what they call ghosting. That means that there was some air that was in there. Don't worry about this white stuff here. That's just the paper that's stuck to the image because the press was very tight. and that'll come off with some water. So we'll clean that afterwards. But this is not coming off like I want it to come off. Probably because I'm being impatient, but we're getting there. And once again, we have nice, vibrant colors. We do have a little ghosting up at the top too. Those were those areas that I told you wasn't really tight on there. But overall, it'll work. And so, let me go ahead and take this glove off. And so in order to take this off, what I use is some water. I have a little spray bottle here that's got just plain water in it. And all that is let me get another paper towel over here. All that is just the A-sub paper. The pressure on it was very tight. Excuse me. And so it has the paper on there. That's all. But that comes right off. The ghosting will not come off, but that white line that you see, those lines that you see on there, that comes right off with some water. That's just the paper. It's residue of the paper that's on there. But overall, it's not bad. Like I said, you can see a little ghosting there at the bottom and at the top. But here you have it. Just put the lid on there. And we can go ahead and, I know I had a straw somewhere. Here we go. Give you guys the full effect of it. So there you have it. That's gonna do it for our rendition of the Black History Sublimation Tumbler. Do me a favor, if you liked what you've seen today, if you learned something today, go ahead below and hit that go below and hit the like button for me. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I'd love to have you as a follower. But until we meet again, guys, be blessed.